When? And we'll say, well, I'll do it someday, maybe. But there's nobody you're going to throw in jail or, you know, punish for not doing it. There's no punishment if you don't.
So there's not a period where it has to be done?
No. There's no time limit. Yes?
I have a question about Otaru City lawsuit case.
Yes.
Does the court say anything about Otaru City did not protect your rights as a foreigner in Japan?
No. Oh, not my rights as a Japanese in Japan.
Yeah.
Careful. Yes. No. They talked more about what are the duties, as you mentioned. What are the duties of Otaru City? Are the duties of Otaru City to pass laws against this? They said, well, there's no absolute duty. They can if they want to, but if they don't, there's no penalty. Because it's at the discretion, or sairyo, of the city government. And you know this word, sairyo. It's the word that the court uses all the time to say, well, they can do it if they want, but if they don't, then they don't want to, and it's okay. Right. Let's take a look at the fine print. You got another hand up here. Was somebody else who had a question? Okay. Fine print of the decision. You know how on Onsens side, it's guilty of racial discrimination. Jinshu sabetsu. They said that Jinshu sabetsu atta to mitomeru. They also said it was guilty of illegal, unrational discrimination. Fugori teki sabetsu. Now, what is gori teki sabetsu? This is a legal concept in Japanese law, in Japanese civil court, that the United Nations has said is wrong. What is rational discrimination? Well, Japanese court would say a bathroom, men's side, women's side, segregation. That's rational. If a woman wants to walk into the men's bathroom and they say, no, you can't come in here, and she sues, she would lose because, well, you see, you have a women's side. Go to the women's side. It's rational discrimination, right? But, you know, the problem with rational discrimination is, you know, if you want to say that, for example, someone can't go into a women's bathroom because there's, you know, into a men's bathroom because there's a women's bathroom, that's one thing. But to say that you can't come into an onsen because you're a foreigner, that's a little more problematic. In this case, they said racial discrimination is not the illegal activity per se. The illegal activity was, remember, discriminating too much? Here it is in the Japanese. Shakai-teki ni kyoyoshi uru gendo koeteru sabetsu. In other words, discrimination which transcended socially acceptable boundaries.
Acceptable boundaries?
Yes, right there. Kyoyoshi uru gendo. Acceptable boundaries. So in other words, discriminating too much. Now, where is the boundary? How much is too much? That's not clear. Why is it not clear? Because if you make it clear, other people will start to sue. There'll be an avalanche of lawsuits. You don't want that, so you say case by case. We're not going to say how much is too much, but it's too much here. Great trick. Next, Otaru City. They said it's not in violation of the CERD treaty because passing laws against discrimination is no more than a political duty. Seiji-teki na gimu ni suginai. So in other words, this is not a legal problem. This is a political problem. So if you don't pass laws, well, sorry, the people who make laws have to decide when they're going to make laws. If they don't think it's the time as now, we, the judiciary, can't tell them to do so. Because it's politics. We have to let politics out of law. Politics is politics. Politics is in the Otaru City government. We're judges. We can't tell them yes or no. Okay. I know, you got my ego. Thanks for saying so long. And the other thing, there was no absolute duty to legislate. Ichiki-teki na gimu wa nai. When other measures can be taken. In other words, look, discrimination's here. What do you do? Well, you can go there, knock on the door and say, please stop. それも措置ですよ. That's a measure. Or you can go to the newspaper and say, hey, this is happening. Investigate. Or the city can hand out flyers saying, let's be nice to each other. Let's not discriminate. Or the city can call the onsen and say, stop it. They did. They didn't stop it. Or you can pass a law against it. But the point is, there is no absolute duty to legislate. You can do other things too. But there's nothing that says it must be a law. So, if they don't make it a law, then no problem. That's the decision. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, so what did we do? Appealed. We appealed the decision. This is colossal. We took it to the next level, to the High Court, Sapporo High Court. This is fun. I appeal against the decision, the Otaru City side. They said, Otaru City, you didn't do anything wrong, you're okay. I disagreed, I said, okay, let's try again. Let's go to the High Court, the Equal side. And I argue the UN treaty requires all effective measures to be taken, including the legislation. Read the treaty. If someone says, okay, you must do something to stop discrimination. All right, well, this is what I'm going to do to stop discrimination. I'm going to bang on this table. There, I've done something. Does it change anything? No. But the city can say, but we did something. Look, we banged on the table. But that doesn't change anything. But it's still, we did something. If you read the treaty, they stop that from happening by saying, 効果的な措置を取らなければいけません. You must take effective measures. Otaru, the epicenter of signposted discrimination, the center of discrimination since 1993, did not take effective measures. They didn't stop it, so it spread. That was our argument. So that's a violation of the treaty. Okay? And Unohana also appealed. They appealed against us. Because it believes our visit and subsequent lawsuit was a sting operation. They said, they said that we went to the onsen, we would be refused, we knew it, so we're going to get money for it. So it was a sting operation. They said, hey, why are you, these people are doing things to get money. So they appealed. Okay, High Court, September 2004, years and years later again. Okay, what do you think happens? Okay, how many people believe that Unohana won? One? Only one. How many people think that we won against Unohana? Okay, the majority. All right, then, here's what happens. Unohana Onsen. They lose again. We won. Lower court's decision reaffirmed in total. In other words, they said everything that the lower court said, we agree with. And they ordered to pay the plaintiffs, Genkoku, 1 million yen each. Okay, we got some money. It's still sitting in my bank account. I collect about 1,000 yen, 1,000 yen interest per year. And case closed. That's the end. Okay. Now, how about the city of Otaru? How many people think the city of Otaru wins again? Okay, about a third. How many people think the city of Otaru loses? Okay, about a little fewer, but most people are really not sure now. Okay, welcome to Japan's judicial system. You're not sure what will happen. They win again. They won again. Now they make more sophisticated arguments this time. They said that passing a law is at the discretion of the government. Saigyo. In other words, it's the government's job. We are the judiciary. Passing a law is something for the legislative branch. I'll explain now, in a minute. The UNCERD, the treaty, offers no specific codification for passing domestic legislation. I'm sorry, these are difficult words for non-native speakers. What I mean by this is, the treaty does not say when the law must be passed. It doesn't say pass it within 5 years of signing or 10 years of signing the treaty. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say anything. It just says you must pass. It doesn't say when. So it doesn't, codification doesn't give any specific checklist of what to do to pass the law. And this is the best argument of all. This is the most interesting one, and this will really cook your noodle. Try this. The lack of a law is not legally actionable as it would violate the separation of powers. Now, that's hard to understand. Sean, I'm going to move over here to use people. That is my example. Just to explain. So you might want to move over here and catch me. Okay. All right. Separation of powers. There are 3 powers of government in Japan: legislative, judicial, and administrative. You got the Rippofu, you got the Gyoseifu, and the Shihofu. That's right. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. Those are the 3 branches. Okay. For example, this gentleman right here is an onsen owner. He says, I can't come in. And I say to the city government, I say to the city, you're the city government, you're Otaru city government. I say, stop him. And you say, well, I can't because, you know, we're the government, but we don't have any law. We are the administrative branch. We're the Hokensho, we're the other organizations that enforce the law. So we don't have a law. We can't stop them. There's no law. I said, okay, Otaru City, Otaru Shigikai, Otaru City Government, in other words, Otaru City Assembly. Make a law. You are the Rippofu. And she says, well, it's too early. You know, we have to change everyone's attitudes first. You know, it's a little difficult. And so I say, you can be the Justice Department. You can be the judiciary. So we take it to court. And we say to the court that she is the judicial branch. She's the Shihofu. And we say to her, look, these people did not stop this. So, look, the Otaru City government is responsible. Do something. And she says, we can't. We judges cannot force these people to make laws. Why? Because they make laws, they enforce laws. We cannot say, you did not make a law, so you must make a law. Because we're judges. If they will make a law, that's okay. But if we force her to make a law,